Thanks for clicking on State of the City. My name's Todd Prafke, and welcome to a special edition of State of the City. This State of the City is really focused on the sales tax vote that will be on the ballot on November 2nd. And so I'm going to go through some questions that I hear often and show you some tables and charts that I hope will inform you so that you can vote in an educated way about sales tax within St. Peter. So first of all, the sales tax that's been asked for by the City Council to vote relates to paying debt service on a new fire station. The City Council has determined that they are going to build a new fire station. And so I'll talk a little bit more about the timeline for that, but they're really asking you, the voters, to make a decision as to whether you want it to be on property taxes or whether you want it to be paid for through a sales tax. So again, whether you're happy to pay for it through property taxes or whether you're happy to pay for it via sales tax. And so we'll talk a little bit about some of those questions that I hear on a regular basis and show you some tables and some graphs to make sure that you can know everything that you might want to know. And if you want to know more, give us a call. Click on our website. We'll be happy to provide information that you're looking for. So first of all, this is for a 1/2 cent increase in the sales tax. So the sales tax in St. Peter currently is 7.375%. 7.375%. And so this would increase it to 7.875%. So it would be the same as our friends in Mankato and North Mankato if it was approved. What would the money be used for? The money can only be used for a new fire station, and so it will be used to pay the debt service. So any money that's generated from this sales tax, whether it goes up or down or how that goes, must go towards paying debt service on the fire station. And once that debt service is paid, the sales tax ends. That's how this works under state statute. So be ready for those kind of thoughts or those kind of questions. But again, this is solely for the fire station. One of the things I wanted to show you too is that this table shows very clearly the amount of debt service that we expect, which is approximately $358,000 per year on the fire station. And right now, based on the best data that we have, based on data from the Minnesota Department of Revenue, sales tax would generate about $385,000 per year. And again, that $385,000 per year must go towards paying debt service on the new fire station. So we're in great shape in that sales tax would pay the entire amount. There does not need to be any additional property tax to pay for the fire station. So what would it mean if I chose that I wanted to have it on my property taxes instead of sales tax? Well, this table illustrates a number of different things, but one of the things that it does is say, well, if you have a home in town and your home is valued at $200,000, your property taxes would go up about $100 for that. So that would be the increase. So if your property value is about $200,000, to pay the debt service, your property taxes would go up each year approximately $100 just to pay for the debt service on the fire station. Now, as a comparison, if you thought that, well, we're going to pay $100 on a $200,000 house, to equate that, you would have to spend about $20,000 in taxable purchases in St. Peter. That would generate about $100 too. So property taxes would go up about $100, but to generate $100 in sales tax, the additional sales tax proceeds, you would have to spend about $20,000 on taxable merchandise within St. Peter. Now, this doesn't make the sales tax apply to clothes or other things that you don't pay sales tax on. This sales tax, if approved, would only be on those things that you would currently pay sales tax on. So I hope that's great information. If you want to see this, you can certainly go on our website, and I'll have a link below for that as well. Why are we building a new fire station? The current station that we're in is from 1929. It doesn't have the size that's necessary for the new and the amount of equipment that we need based on the specialized services that fire departments now provide. I mean, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, we responded to fires. Now we respond to hazardous material problems. We respond to car accidents where maybe somebody needs the jaws of life to be cut out of their car. And generally the fire department responds to anywhere from 65 to 75 calls for service each year. One really important thing, at least from my perspective, that our current fire station does not have, it does not have the decontamination stuff that we really expect for our volunteer firefighters to help keep them safe based on the things that they come in contact with during a fire. So it doesn't provide the appropriate cleanup of firefighters' gear or firefighters themselves after they've responded to a fire or an accident. So that's one of the really important things that we want to emphasize, and the reason for building a fire hall. Again, the city council's decided we're going to build a fire hall. They're just really asking you, would you prefer to pay for it via sales tax or via property tax? Now, the city council's already purchased land for this building. This would be located at what we would call the northwest quadrant of the corner of Sunrise and Broadway. So if you drive up there, there's about a 5-acre site that kind of looks like grass now, and that's where the new fire station would be built. And that fire station, as we move forward, will likely be out for bids in February, March of next year, so February, March of 2022. And we would hope its completion could be made maybe by the end of 2022, but certainly springtime of 2023. So that's kind of the timeline for the project. One of the other things that I want to do is show you a copy of the ballot. So as you get to the polling place, this is what it will look like on your ballot to vote yes or no for the sales tax. That's what it looks like. This is official language that is ultimately dictated by the rules of the state of Minnesota. We don't really have a lot of choice in what that language is, but that's what it will look like on the ballot. The other thing that I want to mention to you is that there will be open houses coming up, and that's coming up next week. So here's a little bit of information about those open houses. So the first one will be Wednesday, October 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the current fire station at 227 West Mulberry Street. We'd really encourage you to stop by either on that Wednesday or that Saturday morning from 9 to noon. Some of the information that I showed you will be available, but maybe even more importantly, you'll get to see the current fire hall and see how and what is likely to change or will change as a part of a new fire station. We'll also have, again, all this data and information about tax impact, sales tax impact, about how everything fits together, about how much sales tax we expect to have generated. Lastly, I'd like to mention that if you want additional information, even beyond that, or in addition to that, here is a website that you can go to. Now, this is part of our city overall website, and so if you go to the city's website, up in the upper left-hand corner, you'll be able to see a link to this. But here's a great website that has a lot of information on it, including frequently asked questions, a copy of the ballot, and all the tables and information that I showed you today. Again, thanks for clicking on State of the City. I hope this has been helpful in helping you make a decision relative to whether you want to pay for a new fire hall using sales tax or whether you'd prefer to pay for it using property taxes. So if you have additional questions, please give me a ring. Here's some of the ways that you can contact me. There's an email address. There's our website, again, with that link to the ballot and all the other information that we have. We have some stuff that's on Facebook for sure. And there's my phone number. There's our Twitter handle, and you can catch this and other videos, let's say city council meetings, school board meetings, county meetings, on our YouTube channel. That's all I have for you today on this special edition of State of the City related to the sales tax and the fire station. Again, if you have other questions, give us a ring, but thanks for clicking on State of the City, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.